The federal government's CBP One app was, for 2 years, a legal way to seek asylum in the U.S. But today, the Department of Homeland Security terminated parole protections for the more than 900,000 migrants who entered the country through this system.
It's really frustrating to many people who are in a vulnerable situation.
Pedro Rios with American Friends Service Committee says it's put hundreds of thousands of people who followed the rules in a state of limbo.
Do they leave? Do they not? Do they heed that order? Do they not? Will they be subject to being sent to a third country in prison-like conditions, subject to torture? This is something that just should not be happening.
The rules were dangerous to Americans.
U.S. Attorney Pam Bondi defended today's move, saying the CBP One app was abused under the Biden administration, creating safety concerns that threaten national security.
Well, yeah, and our jails are full of people. We want to send these people out of our country when possible. When we have charges of violent murder, we're going to keep the ones that are here. We're going to keep them here. We're going to charge them. We're going to prosecute them. The one in Florida I just mentioned, we have the victims' families in court with us, and that gives them closure. But the best thing to do is to get these people out of our country. And when that first plane left and landed in El Salvador, there were 261 reasons why Americans were safer. We have to look out for the safety of our country first and foremost, and that is Donald Trump's directive, and we're going to continue to do that.
A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to bring an immigrant back to the United States by the end of the day today. U.S. officials admit they wrongly deported Kilmer Armando Abrego Garcia to an El Salvador prison last month. Justice Department officials say that was a mistake. U.S. District Judge Paula Zinis says his arrest was illegal and his deportation was, quote, wholly unlawful. She wants him back immediately. NPR's Joel Rose reports it's not clear that will happen.
The Justice Department is appealing. They argue that courts do not have jurisdiction over this case because Abrego Garcia is in the custody of El Salvador, and essentially there is nothing that Judge Zinis can do. The Justice Department is asking the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals for an emergency stay, but if they do not get one, that midnight deadline will still be in place. And then the big question is whether they will comply with it.
Following the breaking news tonight, the Supreme Court has ordered the Trump administration to facilitate the return of Maryland father Kilmer Armando Abrego Garcia back to the U.S. after mistakenly deporting him to a prison in El Salvador.
More illegal aliens who used the CBP One app to enter the country are complying with the administration's orders to leave immediately on their own. Customs and Border Protection says more than 5,000 foreign nationals used the CBP One app to self-deport just in the past month.